Deep in the Cambodian jungle, in the heart of Kulen Mountain, hides an isolated village called Popel. Life here is simple, yet challenging. Unchanged for hundreds of years. Houses are built from leaves and wood, offering shelter but little of life's comforts. Each morning, 6-year-old Ganya quietly prepares for school. For Cambodian children like her, a full education is not a right. It's a rare privilege. No matter how keen or ambitious young students like Ganya may be, the likelihood of them ever moving on from their primary school years to a nearby high school is extremely low. The lack of rural high schools makes it almost impossible for most Cambodian children to ever achieve their potential. Despite the fact 98% of Cambodian children begin primary school, only 6% end up graduating any high school. This is a story about changing this outcome and what Kulen Outreach has done to give every one of these children on Kulen Mountain a chance to live their dreams. When my wife Claire and I visited Kulen Mountain in 2014, we noticed what we thought was an abandoned schoolhouse. We were told by our guide that no full-time teachers had worked at that school for 3 years. However, when we saw a group of children inside one of the classrooms, we learned that one of the girls, a 4th grader named Mia, was inside trying to teach the younger students what she remembered using her old 4th grade textbooks and notes. This little girl was committed to teaching whatever she could to anyone who could come to that school. These kids turned up every day in hope that one day their school would come back to life. And then something remarkable happened. Kulen Outreach was created with one simple belief that every child deserves the right to learn and dream big.
Kulen Outreach started by helping out local primary schools on this mountain, Kulen Mountain, by providing teachers, providing solar energy so that people could learn there.
What started as a dream quickly became a lifeline, a movement. Kulen Outreach had built something that community had never seen before or ever imagined. A school that stayed open for a full day, teachers who came every day, books that weren't missing pages. But most importantly, we had created hope. Our goal wasn't just to build a school, but to create a place where these children felt safe and supported, a place where they actually had the opportunity to dream without limits.
Before, the children on Kulen Mountain had to walk for 3 to 4 hours to get to school. Now, they not only have a primary school right next door to them, they also have a learning center where they get additional classes.
The Popel Learning Center is the first of its kind in Cambodia. For the first time, rural primary school students were given advanced English, math, and science classes in preparation for their high school years.
The Learning Center aims to improve the quality of education and the English proficiency as soon as possible. So the students are best equipped for the big gaps that is from rural Cambodia to the big city education system. They are very, very motivated to learn after school. They come to the Learning Center and they are watching, peeping through the windows and singing along, seeing what the other students are being taught.
By the time those kids grew up, there was a need for secondary education because there weren't any secondary schools near Kulen Mountain. Kulen Outreach built one, and this had never been done before because we had not just built any secondary school, we had built a boarding school.
The Kulen Outreach Tomato War stepped up and built a 100-bed boarding school campus in the city of Siem Reap. For the first time in Cambodia's history, a rural-born student had a chance to attend a city high school and be fully supported throughout their 6-year journey.
So we are very proud that for the first time ever, these small village kids, they came down Kulen Mountain to learn in a big city. We don't only give them free education, we give them health care. We feed them 3 times a day. We give them all the resources they need for in the classroom. We pay for their extra schooling, we pay for their state school. We provide everything a child needs to grow up in a safe environment.
For the children on Kulen Mountain, education became more than just learning. It was the promise of a better life, a life of possibility. But Kulen Outreach was never just about classrooms. It was about hope, even when everything seems lost.
I grew up in a small rural area which is called Kulen Mountain. Every morning I had to wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning to walk to school because I had to walk almost 4 kilometers.
Ro was one of the first students Mia ever taught, and it was because of Mia that Ro kept coming to school. Eventually, Ro came to our boarding school, determined to become a teacher herself. But before we ever met Ro, she had faced unimaginable difficulties that no child should ever experience. Unfortunately, her story is one of many, but one that proves the resilience of Cambodian children.
Our family was really poor and we had to build a new house for our family, but sadly, our house was burning by the fire and my mom was burning by the fire and half of her body was burning. All the money was burning by the fire too, and we had no house to live. It was really hard, you know, like even clothes, even shoes, we had none. My dad built a very small cottage for our family, and there was only roof. There was no wall, so it was hard. I remember that I have a uniform from my friends. I continue to go to school with a plastic bag, 1 pencil and 1 notebook.
Ro's story is a testament to resilience, and it's also proof that support at the right time can change everything. Kulen Outreach was built for children like her because when these kids are given a chance, they don't just survive, they thrive. And this is the reality Kulen Outreach is creating right now.
In Kulen Outreach, I have been here around 5 years. Oh, I learned a lot in here. You know, I learned core English, I learned PBL, I learned how to use a computer. You know, in Kulen Outreach helped me a lot from the beginning till now. And I really want to finish university in here also. As you know, Kulen Outreach provide us many things, such as, you know, a place to sleep, place to eat, and also a place to study English. I would say that Kulen Outreach is a beautiful school it's like my second home, my second school, and it was my everything. It's really beautiful and really nice here. I want to live here forever if I have time.
We are very proud to tell you that 100% of Kulen Outreach students graduates high school. They graduate with critical thinking, computer literacy, English fluency, leadership skills, confidence,
and so much more. So our program works, and all but one of our students also pursue higher education. Remember, the 3% of Cambodians hold a bachelor's degree? Well, they will be part of that 3%.
So most of the students that graduate Kulen Outreach are strong women who go back to Kulen Mountain to change their communities. And now they are the highest wage earners in this district.
Of the 5 fourth graders we originally found trying to continue their education against all odds, 3 of them, Mia, Ro, and Yuan, are now teachers themselves, working with Kulen Outreach to make sure every child can have the same opportunities they had. The 4th, Sumit, is currently studying pharmacy in Phnom Penh Medical School. The 5th, Mei Lin, is studying nursing. Now together, these 2 women will return to Papel Village and for the first time in its existence, offer medical treatment to their mountaintop community. This will save thousands of people a long, dangerous and painful commute to find the help they need. Kulen Outreach gave these young women the tools, but they are changing their country for generations to come.
Kulen Outreach is currently the only and the first organization to provide free education for students from the first grade of primary school up until university graduation.
So you have created a young generation of Cambodians who know what a dream is and who have the tools to reach that dream.